Hockey League hat trick. Got it in the losing effort against the Los Angeles Kings on Tuesday night. Both going for the puck. The icing call there. You see Warren Young comes in. I would think with the Penguins fighting so desperate. Again with Warren Young and Greg Adams doing some jostling. Warren Young certainly has got that type of game.
Here's Gartner in the corner to try and dig it free. Up to Ridley. He's bumped by Cunneyworth. They tie up behind the net. Now Christian centers. Gartner, a shot just over the goal. In behind the net. Gartner slashes at Cunneyworth. And there are going to be penalties called here from Dennis Morrell, as Ridley got involved in behind the goal as well. And the linesman in there to try and keep some of the players apart. He's taken over by Greg Smith. Ruskowski bumps at Smith. Now they push and shove. And it's just a shouting match so far, but some very strong pushing and shoving. This game not even 5 minutes old, and we've had 3 or 4 instances already that would point to this being a rather rough evening, Al. And here's Hatcher to the corner. Ties up behind the net. He got possession first, and the call is icing, and now Scott Stevens and Lemieux.
After the whistle, you see the linesman, the alarm is already up, but Mary Lemieux does a little more jostling and tries to go after the puck.
And Peters seemed to be caught a bit unawares, but made the save. Now a tie-up at the blue line. Langway comes in and roughs up one of the Pittsburgh players. Frawley is involved in the middle of that. Lemieux cuts to the Washington blue line, and across the line ahead of the play was Craig Simpson, and he is hurt.
Mario Lemieux, he's trying to pick Kevin Hatcher. Now watch what Simpson does. He's just blocking for him. This is simply running interference, and that's got to be called. These are the type of things, there's absolutely no way that cannot be a clear-cut interference call. To get strength here on this face-off.
Right from the draw, another injury as Langway is covered up. And now the concern is once again Craig Simpson, this time reaching under his plexiglass face shield.
They're going to try and out-muscle Lemieux, but Lemieux with the bouncing puck, look at the way he's able to get that thing through and cross his ice. Now watch Langway.
Oh, he took a high stick from Langway as Rod turned. Over to Bobby Gould on the right wing. Gould dekes his way in behind the net. He's tripped up, and the puck goes to the corner. Here is Busquets out to Lemieux. Kept in, and Stevens fires, deflected wide. Now we have a penalty call coming up, a delayed call. And a pushing match now between Lemieux and Gould in the corner.
You want to see the frustration we talk about with Lemieux? Absolutely unnecessary to start shoving Bobby Gould. But he's been kept off the shot clock. He has not really been a factor so far, and Lemieux is frustrated early. He was the one who went after Gould, not the other way around. You know, it's one thing, and Larry's dropping the gloves.
Now he drops his gloves, and Bobby Gould uncorking a couple of right hands on Lemieux.
Simpson, third man in.
The Penguins upset, believe me, and everybody jumps into it now along the sideboards. And Mario Lemieux dropped the gloves first and tried to start the fight with Bobby Gould. And Gould came away with 2 right hands to the star Penguin center.
And Craig Simpson has to be the third man in. Here you got a guy 6 feet 5 inches tall, over 200 pounds, and yet they think he can't defend himself. Craig Simpson jumps in there to try and get on Gould. He's got to get the game misconduct. Lack of cool by Mario Lemieux could really hurt the Penguins here.
It looked like it was all taken care of. It did not appear as though there were going to be any calls. Well, you've already got the one minor from in front of the net coming.
I think that was going to be Bodger for cross-checking or tripping up Gould
definitely
in
against
front.
Pittsburgh. But in any event, it looked like the whole thing had been settled. And as they kept yapping at one another, finally Lemieux was the man who showed the frustration. And we'll point that out here as we see it begin from a very good angle from our home team sports cameras.
And boy, does Bobby Gould unload. Lemieux then starts to turtle up, and look at Simpson. Clear-cut call. He's got to get out of there. He's gone at this point. But Mario Lemieux, as you saw, was the man who had the gloves off first. He was the one who wanted to go. That could be classified as instigation as well. So they're going to lose Simpson. And they were already going to have a penalty against, I think it was going to be Bodger in front. So now if you get Lemieux for 2 minutes for instigation as well. Loney and Duchesne, I think, are going to be in there. And look at Lemieux. He looks hurt.
He might have thrown a shoulder out or something, Al. He's tall, he's big and gangly, and that's not the best type of shape to have when you start talking about throwing punches.
Loney and Duchesne get roughing minors. Bodger 2 minutes for cross-checking. Lemieux and Gould 5 minutes for fighting, and the game misconduct for being the third man in the altercation to Craig Simpson, and they still are working on Mario Lemieux. Now we take you back a little farther than what we showed you a moment ago. Now watch how everything gets started. Bob Gould pushed in by Lemieux. A shove back. There goes a push back by Lemieux. Then this is where everything's going. Now I don't think there was going to be any penalty calls. Right here it's just Lemieux and Gould talking to each other. Duchesne gets in there to break things up. Then Loney comes in with a shot from behind. Actually, Duchesne gets 2 shots from behind. But now watch, if you can, number 66 dropping the gloves. He's in the far corner. He's still yapping. You see his face there, that kind of hawk-like face. Here's Kevin Collins trying to get in there. And behind everything is Mario Lemieux, 23, the back of Gould's helmet, still visible. Then as Simpson turns around, there's Lemieux.
Mark Vines is right in the middle of it, too.
Now watch Lemieux. There he goes. Now this is where Mario Lemieux is going to start to make his move at Bobby Gould. There's the gloves going off from Lemieux, and Gould is quick to respond, and boy, is he hammering away. And look at Lemieux, 6 feet 5 inches tall, over 200 pounds, and right off the bat starts covering up, turtling up. He wanted to start it, and he couldn't finish it.
They're carrying him back to the Capitals dressing room, where a doctor can more quickly look at him. This could be something very, very serious. Look at the support that he's being required to use to be taken off the ice there. This is the end of Pittsburgh's hockey season right here.
If he's not coming back anytime soon, they certainly are done. And it's all him. That's the thing that's the wild part of it, Mike. It's all Lemieux wanting to get this started. If it's a vicious hit, if somebody was going after him, that's one thing. But he wanted to get everything going. And that is the ultimate irony in this whole thing.
Now Stevens and Hannon start to push and shove. And
there's the grin.
They just back away. The sticks were already up. And then there's no fight, as it turns out, and Scott Stevens clearly wanted to go.
There's the grin, though. Boy, when you get that grin, that's when you know he's ready to go. All right, now
here's Gaetan Duchesne in front with Gould, a shot, and a goal! And Gould gets attacked in the aftermath. As soon as Bobby Gould scores the goal, the Penguins, realizing who it is, go after him. But right now, the main bout is Rod Buskus, who has jumped on top of Gaetan Duchesne.
And Dan Frawley keeps going at Gould with his stick. Dan Frawley has not dropped his stick, but he's run at 3 different people with it.
Scott Stevens jumps in, and we'll see if he gets anything extra for trying to break it up.
Now watch Bobby Gould. Comes there, gets the rebound perfectly clean. Now look how much time Dan Quinn has. He could have stopped. Instead, he goes at him, and look at Frawley with the stick.
That's the cheap shot.
Yeah, big, tough guy with the stick, right? Across the back of the head, and then Buskus comes in. Just gutless hockey by Dan Frawley to come at somebody like that with the stick.
That's the object of Scott Stevens' attention just moments ago.
Watch it again. The Capitals had been peppering Riggin. Good play by Duchesne. Snaps the shot in there as Buskus goes at Frawley, or as Buskus goes at Duchesne. Gould is left alone. No sense for Quinn to come running at him. And then the cheap shot from Frawley gets everything started. You know, here the Penguins have been playing some tough hockey after Lemieux went out. Still only trailed it by 1. Now it's down by 2. And if Dennis Morel is going to make any kind of even call, Pittsburgh is really going to be badly penalized here. Because of a fight and an injury. Sticks, bodies have been flying all night long.
Pumps it into the corner. Cunneyworth back to take it. Franciscetti piles on to Schofield. Here's Dave Hannon. Right side pass. Walking in, a slap shot right on. The save made by Peters on Contos. Now Langway has got something going in front of the net. Rod Langway and Warren Young have started to throw punches. Langway is not able to land too much. They're drawn in pretty tight. Oh, Langway with an uppercut, and that punished Warren Young. Langway proving to be very tough in close as Young allowed Langway to come in with an uppercut. It is not very commonplace to see Rod Langway getting in a fight, known as one of the tougher players in the NHL for the way he handles himself around that net, but rarely does he drop the gloves, and here he and Warren Young do, and they'll both be sent to the penalty boxes. Rebound back in the corner, and now Gould starts swinging the sticks, and we've got another big pile up. Boy, the Penguins are certainly aware of Bobby Gould's presence, and they're going to take every opportunity they can, and it's to give him a shot, and it's Dan Frawley once again trying to get in there. Hatcher's holding him back now.
What I saw was Dan Quinn again starting to shove Bob Gould, and as soon as Lou Franciscetti saw it, he dropped everything and just came roaring in there to try and blast Dan Quinn.
Duchesne and Quinn still paired up, and now they are holding Franciscetti back from Quinn. Frawley is still being contained by Hatcher, and now they step apart.
Nope.
And here's how it happened.
Watch how far away from everything is Bob Gould. He's not doing anything. And look at Lou Franciscetti. That's Franciscetti on the move right now at Dan Quinn. Cunnyworth tries to cut Franciscetti off, and that's where Franciscetti is in there, and everybody piles in. But you see how far away Bobby Gould was from the puck? He's not even involved in the play, and yet Dan Quinn still persists on trying to get something started with him.
15 over here.
Again, the Penguins dump it in. Stevens trying to upend Frawley. Now Frawley takes a run at Hatcher.
Seeing that there's going to be some time now to get Dan Quinn taken care of. I think he and Greg Smith were the guys back behind the net. You see Smith with the puck, and then you see how he got his stick.
Washington zone. Greg Smith behind the net. Langway has been hit with a high stick by Young. Now we all know Rod Langway sweats a lot, but he doesn't sweat blood.
You see Langway to the right of the screen. Now look at Warren Young's stick right up in the face. It's one thing to come out and play tough, and I've given the Penguins plenty of credit for hard work and hustle, but it's stupid when you're starting to get stick penalties that cost you power play opportunities, and in this case, down by one, Warren Young makes the stupidest move of all with a 5-minute major call for high sticking.
Played by Bodger, and it came out of the zone, and now we've got a penalty call coming here for elbowing. As Adams takes a 2-minute call for elbowing.
He certainly got the elbow up. That is a penalty.